Now this is the brand new Mini Cooper SE. It's a complete EV, and under the bonnet sits a 218 brake horsepower engine and 330 Newton meters of torque. It'll take you from 0 to 100 in just 6.7 seconds, and it will, if you drive it sensibly, have a range of around 400, even 402 kilometers an hour. Now, to the exterior, you've got some great changes. First of all, these plastic arches have disappeared and now it's part of the body. You've got some great headlights. You've got a great rear to the car, which we'll have a look at it. But it's also, when you go inside, you see some great new improvements, not least the beautiful center console that keeps true to Mini's heritage that began many years ago in 1957. The interior is very innovative. It kind of brings you back to those swinging 60s, but with 21st century technology. Mini say by 2030, they'll be having the whole Mini family in electric offerings as well, but we'll see about that. The trends in the world of automotive happen to change quite quickly. Without further ado, let's do the GoPro tour, have a look around the car, inside the car. Let's take it for a drive, and let's also look at some of that tech that sits within the car. And then, of course, take it for a 0 to 100. Well, it's time for the GoPro tour, and let's have a closer look at the Mini Cooper SE. Let's start with the front right now. Beautiful grille, very minimalistic, if you ask me. Very, to the point. Great, those mini lights. And of course, right over here, you've got a digital kind of sensor edition. Very nice looking, very sharp. Now to the side, you got that beautiful S mark right there. Now to the side, I love these alloys. They're a nod to Minis of yesteryear. And then if we get close, these should magically open. You've got, these are nice. I do like these door handles. Beautiful. I think these are 17s, but you can get them in 16s as well. A little bit smaller to the back. It's interesting, quite a lot has changed with the back, not least the Union Jack lights. They still light up in the evening, and I've got a video of that. I'll put that in here. There's still half Union Jack on each side, but not the full Union Jack. It's quite sharp over here. You can actually get a John Cooper Works addition to it over here, and then you can have a rear kind of spoiler as well. Just all in all, quite compact, a little bit kind of, reminiscent of the Minis of yesteryear. And then let's go inside here. Of course, you've got your electric charging right over here. The boot is always important. It's about 200 liters, I believe. Got your cables and everything over there. I don't know if 4 people's luggage can fit in here, as all those years ago, Sir Alec was tasked to do so. But for a weekend, that doesn't look too bad. Close that up. None of that electrical malarkey over here. Now I'm gonna go inside over here. We'll have a deeper look to the interior, but here, it just looks nice, crisp, quite minimalistic. We're going to talk about what's in there. We're going to talk about that. That's all textile, all recycled textile, and just a nice interior. Now I'm going to show you the rear of the car over here. If I'm honest, there isn't a whole lot of room, so this is essentially a 4-person car, but you can see from there that there's hardly any room. I mean, the back seats are beautiful. They look really nice, but there's no way anybody's sitting in them. Just look at the gap over there. That's me sitting. I mean, for the front seats, you're very comfortable. For the back seats, not so much. But of course, you do have those ISOFIX to fit in the child seats and that kind of thing. But that is pretty much the interior. Now let's go have a closer look into the interior from the POV of the cockpit. Well, here we are. Welcome to the interior of the Mini Cooper SE. And when you come in here, it is less is more. That's the concept Mini have gone for, and I think it works. Now, right in the middle, you've got this infotainment / speedometer / your applications, whatever you need, it's right here. Pretty good, quite quick, quite intuitive, very nice. Okay, you know, it's just very, very quick and easy to use. You've got an array of different things over here that you can explore. Right underneath, you've got these analog buttons or switches, whichever you want to call them. The first one is your gear selector, rather nice. I like it when it's I like it when it's analog like this, and very easy to flip up and down. In the middle, you've got your ignition key. It is a stationary ignition key, but very, very nicely done. A nod to yesteryear, those minis of the bygone era. Then you've got your experiences. Now, these experiences, they've baffled me a little bit, because in some of them, reviews and so on that I've read, you get different kind of experiences, and now I have discovered a little bit more. My bafflement has disappeared. Now you get Go-Kart mode, which is the most performance oriented, which we will shortly be experiencing in the 0 to 100, as well as the driving experience. Then you go down, you get core. That must have something. And look, with each experience, you get a different kind of soundtrack, which is quite nice. Then there we go. Then green. Green is quite interesting, because with green, you get a little birdie in the middle. And then as you kind of accelerate, the birdie will be happy. And if you accelerate more, I believe there's a cat that appears, and it's an angry cat, and it tells you, stop accelerating, you're, you know, not being kind to nature. Now, going further down, you have personal. Of course, you bespoke that until your heart is content. Then you have vivid. Now with vivid, it's a drive mode, but also it's the ambience mode of the car, and the same goes with green and so on and so forth. Then you get, there we go, vivid. Then you go timeless. I rather like timeless, because timeless gives you again and again, you get that nice ambient noise and lights and so on and so forth. And I know you can't see it right now, but you've got little lights over here, and they reflect onto this very nice kind of synthetic materials. Now, before I forget, the entirety of the Mini, it's either all the interior textiles and this fake leather, it's a leather-free car naturally, is 90 or even 100% recycled materials. So that's pretty cool. You've got this old school speedometer here. What was this called? Timeless. That's what it is, timeless. I really rather like that. It's got that old school feel to it. After timeless, you got balance, again, with its own soundtrack. And those are the modes, and you control the experience from here and the radio from here. Underneath, you've got your parking sensors, lane, departure. It has a lot of options, this car, to be honest. It's got all the mod comms that you would get in any modern kind of that premium-ish segment. Steering wheel, rather nice, rather thick right here, and I think that's a nod to the go-kart feel of the whole car. You know, nice. The seating position also very nice. In front of you, you don't have the projected kind of speedometer that projects onto the screen. Instead, you have a little kind of another screen that comes up. It projects on there, and I've read that's because the screen is a little bit kind of curved, so you can't really you know, project the speed over there. A great steering wheel, Harman Kardon stereo, a lot of space here. Completely you know, opened up sunroof over here. It goes all the way to the back. You know, beautiful, beautiful. And then so you've got that complete kind of air and light and airiness that can come in the car. Generally great. The front seats, I'm a big fellow, very, very comfortable for me to drive. Also for the passenger back seats, more of a more for decoration, I think, or just about a baby seat, or for your luggage. And that's about it with the interior of this beautiful Mini Cooper SE. Now, the Mini we love and enjoy, and have enjoyed for over 60 years now, was actually the result of a crisis, and that's the Suez Canal crisis of 1956. As a matter of fact, well, back in the day, there was an invasion by Britain, France, and another invading country that likes to stir things up. And they went into Egypt, where the Suez Canal is, in order to regain control of the canal. Now that sent oil prices shooting through the roof. And therefore, in 1956, while working at BMC, British Motor Corporation, Sir Alec Isagonis was tasked by his boss to create an economic car, a small car that could fit 4 people, that could also fit their luggage. It shouldn't exceed 10 feet long, and it should be economical. He got to work. There is some talk that he sketched it at the back of a napkin in a pub in the UK. Well, that we never know. But come 1957, the project was on, and come 1959, the Mini had been released. Now, in the beginning, it was called the Morris Mini Minor, or the Austin 7 Mini. And throughout the years, there have been tens of millions produced. And they've obviously evolved over the years, and now BMW has taken it over, I think, more than 2 decades ago. I think around 2001, but I shall double check that if need be. But here we are in the electric Mini and cruising down the motorway. I'm taking the car through its paces in a couple of different ways, one of which is highway or motorway driving. And if you ask me, as far as motorway driving goes, it is actually rather comfortable. Now, throughout the years, I've managed to try quite a few different Minis. The previous shapes, so the shape from the 75 to 82, and also the BMW models later on. And especially the newer ones, I always felt the suspension was a little tough, a little harsher than it should have been. But then again, it gives you that rally/go-kart feeling that's quite necessary. In this one, when I picked it up a couple of days ago, I thought once again they've could have softened the suspension, but then you get used to it. And especially here in Dubai, with all these wonderful smooth roads, it's actually quite a smooth ride. Now, the concept of the car should be, or is, a go-kart-like driving experience. Now, here we are at the most important part of the whole thing, and it's the driving experience. And I have to say, I've had this car for the last 3 days, and I've driven it through and through. All in all, very comfortable cabin, great seating position. When you put it into go-kart mode, I mean, the other modes are fine, but go-kart mode is what you want to be driving in. It really comes to life. The suspension, I thought it was a little bit harder than it should be, but now I got used to it. The soundtrack is rather beautiful. I really like it. I'm sure this is Hans Zimmer. It's BMW say that Mini does not use the Hans Zimmer soundtrack, but I'm pretty sure that it does. Now, I'm going to do some mid-range acceleration over here, so I'm cruising at a certain speed, and then, yeah, it's right there. The acceleration is immediate. It's not mind-boggling. It's not brain freeze kind of. And there is no lag. It's not brain freeze kind of acceleration, but it is very nice acceleration indeed. Just a great ride all around. I think many of them have done a fantastic job putting this car together. Now, when it comes to the interior, the Mini is as spacious as ever, so Sir Alec would have been rather proud with what BMW Group have managed to do with the newer models. It's still very deep. As a matter of fact, you sit quite low, as you should in a Mini. However, this one, you sit slightly higher than the outgoing model, but still, you feel quite cocooned, quite in control of your surroundings, with a beautiful steering wheel, a little thicker than it should be, but that kind of gives you that go-kart feel, if you ask me. Now, a little bit about Sir Alec. Of course, he's knighted for all his good work. He's born in 1906 in Smyrna, modern-day Turkey. In those times, it's the Ottoman Empire. He's born into a Greek family, and in the Greco-Turkish War in 1922. There's the Great Fire of Smyrna, where the Turkish troops push out the invading Greek armies, and Alec, along with his family, who are a wealthy family as a matter of fact, they are merchants, sea merchants if I'm not mistaken, naval merchants. They relocate to the United Kingdom. So that's kind of interesting for me because I am Turkish. Sir Alec was born in Turkey, so I've suddenly got a bit more of a connection with this wonderful car brand. Well, I have the car in Go-Kart mode, 6.70 to 100. Now, without further ado, let's have a go, shall we? Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Off we go. Ooh, that's a lot of wheel spin. And here we go. That's 100. I am pretty sure I got a lot of wheel spin in the beginning because, of course, this is a front wheel drive. I'm going to try that again because it really felt like it was wheel spin. I'm gonna have to try that again. I think it was. There we go. Definitely. And here we are. Now, I'm a little bit confused there. Is that wheel spin or is that the noise of the electric engine? Because, of course, the electric engine, the sound at BMW, it's kind of got this Starship type of sound, noise, tune, let's say. Sounds like it's from Star Wars. Now, BMW uses Hans Zimmer for the soundtrack. I haven't read anywhere that Mini uses Hans Zimmer, but of course these are very similar engines. So I believe the same soundtrack is used over here. It's just they don't really promote that Hans Zimmer is doing it. But that's pretty good. Got a little bit of torque steer. Got a little bit of wheel spin, but nice takeoff. Very nice. Now, the original Mini wasn't designed as a sports car, a particularly fast car, or a rally car for that matter. But in the early 60s entered John Cooper, the famous race car driver, and he implemented a bunch of upgrades. Now, the result was a formidable challenger, a challenger that would win the Monte Carlo rally over and over again. As a matter of fact, it won it so many times, they even disqualified it on a number of occasions with trumped-up charges. That's the way I see it. Anyway, now the success of the Mini didn't end there. With the era of BMW, they continued winning rallies, not least the Paris-Dakar rally on 4 occasions. So this car, while designed to be an economic small car, its pedigree is so good that it's gone on to win rallies and become one of the most formidable challengers throughout the ages.